Good morning and welcome to Through the Lens on this 20th day of January 2010. Our program this morning will update our viewers at Marrows Grove relative to the USO. The USO is officially the United States United Service Organizations, better known as the USO. Our guest is Ed Riffert, a resident in Bluebird Crossing. Ed is a Chief Warrant Officer, United States Marine Corps, retired. How are you this morning, Ed? Have you unpacked all of your boxes yet?
You? Okay, fine. Well, I'm getting squared away every day. More and more things come up that I have to put down in my storage area, but I certainly enjoy it here. A lot of things to do and get involved here if you wish to, and as time goes on, I certainly will get more involved with the activities here at Marrows Grove.
Could you tell us about your service in the Marine Corps?
Well, actually, my father was in the Marine Corps in the First World War. He died, unfortunately, when I was only 3 years old, so I never knew the gentleman, but I had a lot of his helmets and equipment from the First World War at home. So I always wanted to join the Marines as I got older. I joined the Marine Corps Reserve in high school in 1950. I was going to go regular upon graduation. But as you know, Korea broke out the end of June. Our reserve unit was activated in August. Went to Paris Island, as all good Marines do. Received my training there. Went to various duty stations throughout the Corps from 1950 to 52. I stayed in the reserves and retired from reserves in 1975. I was very fortunate and proud to have done so.
How did you come to get involved with the USO?
Well, actually, a good 12 years ago, a lady at church was involved. She was a volunteer at the USO, and she knew about my military experiences and said, we'd like to go down to the USO at the airport and meet the troops, which I did, enjoyed it there. It was Tuesday evening. At that time, the USO was only in Terminal D. It was only open maybe 12 hours a day, very small area. So I enjoyed it there, so I would go down every Tuesday. The main object there was to greet the Coast Guard on Tuesday evening, which I'll explain more later.
Before we discuss your volunteer work at the Liberty USO, Philadelphia International Airport, let's look at the history involved. The United Service Organizations is headquartered in Washington, D.C. It is a nonprofit, congressionally chartered organization. It does not receive any government funding. In 1941, prior to the U.S. entering World War II, President Roosevelt unified the effort of the USO by having 6 organizations join the effort. Those 6 organizations are the YMCA, the YWCA, the Salvation Army, the Jewish Welfare Board, Catholic Community Service, and Travelers Aid Societies. The 6 stars on the USO logo represents the 6 organizations. The website for the USO is www.uso.org. Other chartered and independent organizations worldwide, like Liberty USO of Pennsylvania and Southern New Jersey Incorporated, partner with local communities and corporations to provide services to our armed forces and retirees. Liberty's USO website is www.libertyuso.org. There are currently 130 USO locations throughout the globe serving our troops 24 hours per day, 7 days per week. There is a public perception that the USO is primarily an entertainment organization. Excuse me. During World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, entertainers, including Bob Hope, Martha Ray, Guy Lombardo, Count Basie, Gypsy Rose Lee, and many, many others, were unique and became legendary for their efforts in entertaining our military, men and women, at home and throughout the world. Circa 2010, entertainment represents about 5% of the overall efforts of the USO organizations. With that in mind, Ed, let's take a look at what goes on at the Liberty USO Philadelphia International Airport. I was very impressed by what I saw when you took me on a tour of your facility a couple of weeks ago. Ed?
Okay. First of all, we'll have on the screen here, this is the entrance as you go to the USO. The USO is located at Terminal A East, about as far as you can go down the steps there. Very, very large active area there, open 24/7. We have a good 100 and some plus volunteers that are very active there. Here we see the entrance. As you enter there, you must have an active duty ID card to come in. As you check in there, we also have 2 free telephones where any of the troops can call anywhere in the United States at their leisure there. Next we have the eating and kitchen area. As you come in, we explain to them what's available. There are sandwiches made daily by the volunteers there. Also have many, many good hot dogs, rolls, sandwiches, as I mentioned before, cakes, donuts, good hot chows prepared, big soda machine, coffee, tea, and soup. So anything the troops want, they can come in and they can enjoy themselves and relax and get a good hot meal, or just a basic hot dog, which many, many enjoy.
I must say that the hot dog that you prepared for me was excellent. It was a Dixon Watson and on a roll by Myers Bakery of Philadelphia. Perfectly prepared and delicious.
Let me mention about Myers Bakery. They're located in Aston, and every week on Tuesday they donate approximately 15 dozen hot dog rolls, which I pick up and take down to the USO. And Dixon Watson also donates the hot dogs that we have there, which, as Bruce said, they're very enjoyable. And the troops, they don't always have a hot meal, but they certainly enjoy the hot dogs. Next, we have the kitchen area, which is all prepared by the volunteers. It's not a very large area, but very adequate for what they do. And I say thanks to the volunteers, they do prepare all the sandwiches there, the hot chow. Prepared, they make sure everything's wrapped up and clean and taken care of. But it's a very active area there, and once again, we thank you for the volunteers that do work there for preparing the food for the troops.